Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a Recon the Role-Playing Game story. I'm titling this one The Portal. Before I get into this, though, if you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on all of your platforms, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including the Devo Poland Chronicles. There's two in the series now. The first one is Vanguard 1. The second one is Task Force Terminus. I'm working on the third one right now. It's going to be called The Gulag of the Damned. And it's space warfare. It's military based, pro-humanity. It's a study of humanity from an alien perspective. Hope you get them. Hope you like them. All right. The Portal. My friend John wanted to run a recon game. This was about 1995 or so, as I recall. He'd seen a movie and had given him some ideas, and we all agreed to make up mercenaries. So it was a one-shot type thing. And there were four of us. I ran a point man sniper, Barry ran a grenadier medic, Ray ran an intel medic, and Gary ran a point man demolition specialist. We felt that two medics would be a good idea. So John had a penchant for vicious bad guys. So an extra medic is a good thing. I don't care who you are. Our group was recruited by an American company doing a lot of scientific research. We figured they needed bodyguards or security or whatever. The pay was really good and they provided all the arms and equipment that we wanted, so we signed up. What the hell, right? Well, it turns out one of their science teams had opened a portal to somewhere else, and they were trying to figure out where this portal went to. Their first scientific team that went into the portal to explore had come up missing. They had been in there for 3 days. One team member tried to get back through the portal, but all that had made it was his head, his right arm, and shoulder. All the rest of them had been bitten off right at the portal. It was crazy. They needed a rescue team to bring back the other 3 team members and their recorders. We immediately tripled our fee. We said, no, we're going to do it. Let's triple our fee. And, of course, they agreed because they needed those recorders. So we got all of our gear ready. We set it up, and we went into the portal with full gear. We had food and water for 2 weeks, and all of the bang that we could carry. Anything we could think of, we brought. Where the area we ended up was a primordial jungle with no signs of civilization. We found tracks leading to a cave. As we approached the cave, 5 large lizards attacked us from the undergrowth. They looked like big crocodiles with 8 legs and spikes all over them. A combination of small arms, fire, and grenades killed all 5 of them. We killed 4 of them and we drove the last one off. We made it to the cave, and inside we found 2 dead bodies. Our mission briefing had included the other team's files, so we knew who they were. One had been skewered by something big, and the other one had been bitten in half. But the bodies were there, so that was 2 of them. We found their recorders, all 4 of them, and by watching them, we discovered that they had been attacked by primitive hominids, 12 feet tall, riding these big lizards. Yeah. The team member who almost made it back had fled. The last team member had been carried off. This was 6 days ago. They went in for 3. It took them 6 days to recruit us and get us ready to go. Anyway, so all this happened 6 days ago. We set up trip flares and claymores and made camp in the cave. We planned to go searching for him the next day. That night, something set off the trip flares, and Ray, who happened to be on guard duty at the time, he popped his claymore. The rest of the night was quiet. After that explosion, the rest of the night was quiet. The next morning, we searched the area and found a 12-foot tall, hairy man with a massive spear. The claymore had pretty well gotten him, so, We followed his tracks back the way that he had come, and we found a village. Observing for a few hours, we finally saw their captive. He was hanging from an overhead beam by his wrists. He was inside one of the huts. He was naked and had been beaten bloody. We figured maybe a whip or they had elephant grass in the area, kind of a long, thick elephant grass. Maybe they used some of that. I don't know. At any rate, he was not in good shape. We had to get him out of there. We came up with a hasty plan. 3 of us would attack from the far side of the camp to draw them away so the 4th could sneak in and get him out. Ray, Gary, and Barry moved around to the far side of the village. I snuck as close to the prisoner as I could. I could look right in the door of this thing and see this guy. They opened up and the village went nuts. They quickly realized that these big sons of bitches were fast and agile. The guys had to withdraw in force, firing constantly. So they were moving back in the jungle in, one at a time, and they were covering each other as they escaped. All the while, these big 12-foot tall hairy men were chasing them. It was crazy. I used my silenced sniper rifle to eliminate the remaining guard, and then I slipped in to cut this guy loose. Once I had him, I carried him as fast as I could back to the cave, which was a hell of a thing in this jungle. By nightfall, the rest of the group had not returned. I treated this guy's injuries as best I could, and figured to stay there for the night. So I fortified the area. I put claymores out, trip flares, that kind of thing, and I slept right there near the mouth of the cave. Well, about 3 hours after nightfall, one of my claymores was tripped. I didn't see who was out there, and there was no way I was going to go to leave my fortified position, so I just waited. By morning, they still had not returned. I ventured out to find out what had tripped the claymore, and it was Gary. Gary's character was out there, and he was dead. I didn't understand that. He must have just been hauling ass or something. At any rate, I waited another 6 hours and figured that if they were coming, they would have been to the cave by now. I left a message pinned to the wall of the cave with Gary's bayonet. It said that I needed to get the civilian back, but I would have them hold the portal open for them, and I also said I would return if I could. I got the civilian back to the portal. When I got him back, they were very, very appreciative. Barry had already made it back through the portal. He thought that was where I was going. Ray had been killed at the village, and Barry had just ran away. Gary, obviously, I guess, tried to make it back to the cave, but didn't, he was in such a rush, he didn't check for the claymore. Well, that was the last game that John ran. He ended up moving away for a new job. I did enjoy that game. It was fun. Sometimes putting the paranormal into Recon is it can be fun, but you got to be careful how you do it. But this was done really well. John was an excellent game master. It was really done well, and we had a lot of fun. So anyway, I figured you guys would like that story. Hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.